little owls.
It's an owl.
Oh,
It's an owl. It's
Oh, I
as it
see.
does say who.
What does it do? Oh, it's a speaker. It's
It's a speaker. Watch, you guys can see this.
Shows everybody. It shows the people in the room.
Silence your voice.
Oh, very
And then the
cool.
people in the Zoom. He's actually gonna turn it on in a minute. See the people that are on the
We
Zoom.
got all this great technology.
No. We have to be in person.
Remembers that?
You know that guy. All right, let's wait for Zilla to get back to this stuff. And of course, everyone knows that anything that we said
Speak
on
up.
the screen will be can be customer support.
This picks up everything.
So yeah, we're gonna wait for it.
You don't need her.
She's gonna make quorum.
No what? What are you shaking your head at me?
She's resilient.
You're both, you're double.
Right, I'm resilient sanitation. Two hats. I understand that. I'm just saying,
Is it
don't
six?
you need,
Thank you. Is it 6 total among both committees?
6 the total among both committees, yes.
oh,
Yeah, at the month,
Okay.
yeah, at the month. And then you divide it by 2. And then.
But you don't double dip you.
No, we don't double.
You're not double dip. So you're like one.
no, I just, what? you
Me too,
needed
I
a
didn't-
quorum of sanitation and you need.
If you're doing a joint and you really could combine it together.
Okay, Jeff. Meeting's yours.
Okay, we'll welcome everybody here. It's 7:10 at the meeting for the budget requests that the community board needs on the environmental,
Can we get another
sanitation, and resiliency committees. And Jack, would you like to say something?
I'm listening.
Very good. Okay, Eddie, you can take it away.
Okay. All right, guys, for the people who are.
Eddie, you talk to the owl.
No, I know, we're making it brighter. There.
Okay.
Yes, all right, guys, welcome to the meeting. As you can see on the screen, we have a list of, what do you call it, requests for the environmental. But before we go into it, there's about 10 items, so we don't have to really rush on it for a minute. What we're gonna do is we're sharing the screen that you see, and I want to show you also sections of what we're looking at. There's a page that we have here that says resources for community district needs. Go through it at your leisure. It's a one-pager, as you can see from here. It's a one-pager. It gives you some resources of what is there to what do you call it? Look up to find data that you can use. But I'm not going to go through it because this you can look at your own time because we have 7 more other committees to go through throughout the month of August. So that's one thing. The second thing that you guys gonna see now.
Put up the page and she could do the screen.
Yeah, but go ahead.
She's bright. She's a bright young lady.
So the next one is the green page, that you guys have. Basically, these are the budget requests that we have looked over the last 15, 20 years. 15, 20 years. And no, it's this one.
It's like second page or something.
Yeah,
No,
the
but
second
she's
page.
going for
Oh, no, it's the blue. It's the blue, it's blue. The blue and that's the only colorful one. Sorry, that's where I got cheap. So basically, these are the items that you can request from sanitation, which is DSNY, and you can also get from DEP, which is Department of Environmental Protection. These are the projects that are capped and expense. But before you go down the list, remember, this is a budget for year 2025, 2 years from now. So don't think that whatever you see, like, why don't we have snow removal improvement? No, because we're not waiting 2 years for snow improvement. We're going to ask for that now. So these are requests that will be happening in 2 years from now. So anything that's more immediate, you ask now. Don't wait for it. So just to go down real quickly, as you can see, some of them are capital and some of them are able to see and eat. And I'm not gonna go through it because we went through these for the last 5 years, 10 years, and they're pretty much the same. So the only one that might be different, let me see.
Sorry, Eddie, these two pages.
Yeah.
Are the ones relevant only to this committee.
No, this is relevant for all of New York City. We only
Okay.
chose these on our priorities.
So can we get to that?
Yeah, no, but I want, remember, we're teaching the people who don't know this how to do this, only because, remember, we know how to do it because we've been doing it for the last 5 to 10 years. But for the people like Mark, who hasn't done this before, to understand that if we didn't pick it this year, we could always come back to it and pick it for the following year. But remember, it won't be done until 2 years from now. That's the kicker about this. So whatever our wish list is for is more for long term. Okay, so now we're getting to the juicy part. Go back up there. No, third, no, last one. All right, now we're gonna go to page 2. Page 2.
Excuse me, did you send us the resources for CD as a PDF?
Yes, yeah, it was under this. Let me see. Hold on. It looked like this. The blue one.
No, yeah, you're right there.
So if it's the one that you got as attachment, you should have gotten that. If you didn't get it, let us know tomorrow and we can send it to you.
Okay.
And
All right, thank
it's
you.
different one for each committee. So don't think that whatever you see now is all for everybody. No, every committee has a different type of capital and a different type of expense. So going to the black and white one, because cheaper. We're going to page 2, priority number 4. Page 2, as you can see, is it says the priority tracking number, project information. What were you asking for, and the explanation what the agency said they could do or not. So the first one, as mentioned, was to upgrade new existing sanitation garage or other sanitation infrastructure. Of course, our biggest pet peeve with sanitation is to get a garage. And of course, according to them, they don't have the funds for it. Based on that, we don't stop telling them that we still need a garage. And knowing, if you read the description, the explanation on the screen, it says that we've been asking this since the 1980s. And this also impacts another community board number 15. So
I think it's also Community Board 11.
no, 15, because 11 has waste transfer station and they have their own sanitation garage. This is asking for a brand new garage right now. So we're asking for one little tidbit thing that has happened over the last year since now is we've always been asking the site at Shell Road, which is the one where, if anyone knows, Brooklyn Union gas tanks. We've been asking that site for since we found the spot. Last year, or I would say last 6 months, National Grid has sold it. We don't know who they sold it to, and if it's possible, if the new owner would be able to build out the garage for us. So we're hoping that they're flexible, because whoever the owner is, we don't know if they're capable of letting us use the land and build a garage on it, or they're going to use it something totally different. So we have to find out from National Grid, but it doesn't mean that we still don't need a garage. Suggestion is to look for other locations, but that is up to sanitation to tell us what other sites they have available, which of course they don't have any right now. All right, so any questions on the garage?
I have what does it mean funds is uncertain as opposed to it's been not funded? What does that practically mean?
Basically, it means that he doesn't have any money. When the funds when the funds are uncertain, the city doesn't know where the money's going to come from. So it's important, but they don't know how they're going to fund it. And
This is 1980.
yes, and 19, and also the the executive budget that the mayor passed in June 30th already said what they're going to do for the following year. Right now is not in their budget in 2024.
Just in the background, Eddie.
Yeah.
We did have the 50 million. I was up here at the meeting
Yes.
with the Department of Sanitation. All we had to do was sign on the line.
Oh, yeah.
It was $50 million in the budget,
Yes.
and then the next day, it disappeared.
Disappear. We
This-
don't
And we
know.
never got an answer
No.
to where that 50 million went.
This year?
No,
No,
like
this was-
2016, 2017.
2016, 2017.
They showed us the actual plans, which we were very impressed. And we said, let's make it happen. And within a year's time, when we were ready to sign it, they said, oh, the money's gone. And the money wasn't actually to purchase it. The money was actually to have a goodwill faith in holding the land for us, which is only like 50 million.
50 million.
It was just to say that we want it. And when
And we
they
never got
couldn't
an
find
answer
it,
there.
we couldn't find an answer for it. And
The controller never gave us
the
an
controller
answer.
didn't have it, the
Nobody
commissioner
gave us
didn't
an
have
answer
it.
there.
So we, of course, had to go up further up, which is the mayor. But anyway, at that time. So, and now we can't find it, period. So, because things happen.
His
and
wife took it.
Things happen. We don't know what happened. So, all right. So,
Second that emotion.
no. Okay, so we're gonna go to page 3, which is number 8. All right, this is under DEP, which is Department of Environmental Protection, where we asked them to evaluate public location for properly for green infrastructure, example, rain gardens, stormwater street, and green playground. And of course, they have to investigate this situation. The reason why we asked for it, of course, because of Sandy, we are so close to the shoreline. One thing that they could do in their, in their toolbox is that they can offer bioswales. These are their explanation was we are too, high, the high water level is too high for
The water table.
Water table, that's it. It's too high for a bioswale. It has to be at least 8 feet deep, and ours is 4 feet deep. So if you hit ground in 5 feet, you hit water. So they needed at least 8 feet. Of course, we asked the question again, why can't they do it now? And they said technology still hasn't caught up yet, because this has been going on since Sandy, since we've been asking it. But technology has caught up, with porous infrastructure and stuff like that. But we still want something more than just, promises that they're going to help us.
Can I ask a clarification?
Sure.
It says green playgrounds. Is that to like build new playgrounds or
No,
to fix our current ones to be resilient?
Both. I think it's more like when a new playground is coming in, they make sure they have porous grounds, and so that the water can absorb it easier and maintain it than to have it run off on the concrete. And grass I don't know if grass is good, but this is more porous if it's like on a basketball court. You can't put grass on the basketball court. So I think this is more that this is how they would use it for that part. So if you know any elected officials that wants to redo a structure that needs to be done, you can mention that if and when they do a playground or a court, that they have porous pavement for it. Like we should ask, I think we did, and if not, we should, is the volleyball court, if it's gonna have porous, paving, so that water will be absorbed into the ground instead of just having concrete, which is not so good, but but we can ask them again. But this is what that is. And of course, they said further investigation is needed, but we leave it there in the top 10, if you notice that. This is the top 10 priorities. All right. Any question with that? Anyone?
Yes, it's asking us to contact the agency. Could you
Oh,
clarify
we do.
what they want us to do?
Well, we asked them, has there been any new technology to help us with these green gardens and stuff like that? And their answer, of course, no. But that doesn't mean that we can't continue asking them, because eventually technology or new ideas will come up and tell us, yes, they can do it now. And there were certain things like what Far Rockaway did was they put a median, green street in the median, where it was to capture runoff water. And they said that they could do it up to like 5 or 6 feet when we went to see it with DEP.
Oh.
But the only thing was, we asked if they could do it here too, and they said no, because ours is 4 feet. Can you mark it? The buzzer. The sound. Okay.
Maybe we should close the door, maybe the
Yeah,
AC's going out, I'm hot.
No, okay, so basically, we don't stop asking the same things, because they don't exist. It's just more of reminding them that we still need it because we're in the low line, shoreline. All right? Is that a good explanation or somewhat?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Right,
you.
so our next one is page 4, which is number 11. And this is the capital project for specific street segments currently lacking sanitary sewers. What we've done was in the last 5 or 6 years, they've done Surf Avenue between West 15th Street to West 20th Street, where they dug up every pipeline you could think of. Well, that's good and nice, done, but they also have to remember from 21st Street to West 37th Street, they still have to do that side too. And of course, their response is we have to look into it, and then OMB doesn't take any position. Basically, it's more of getting the city or state to get money for this big capital project. And it's more of if it's not, and remember, this is not a 1-year project. This is an ongoing project. So if they do it from 21st to 24th Street, it would be another 3 years. And then from 25th Street to 27th Street, it'll be another, 3 years. So,
I have a question on that.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
Okay.
When they raised surf,
Yes.
how far did they go and did they do this?
It's only up to 21st Street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we want them to continue on.
Great.
Because which is good as they always say, in hindsight, why only concentrate on that section and not the rest of Coney Island? And if anyone knows, the pipes are over 100 years old now. Yeah, they are over 100 years old. And it's just a matter of when they're going to break, because in the last, before the pandemic, the last 5 to 6 years ago, there was 2 water main breaks on West 29th Street and Mermaid. I don't know if you guys remember it, but it happened like within a year's time. And we were trying to figure out, it could have been from Sandy, but it's over 100 years. So if that's happening now in that particular intersection, who says it's not going to happen in the other intersections too? So it's better to be, as they always say, proactive than reactive. So, okay.
These
Yeah.
budget requests
Yes.
and their explanation, I'm assuming they're the same from last year and
Yeah.
the previous year. And
Yeah.
has the response ever changed?
No, because it's more of capital spending and making it a priority. Remember, these are mega bucks of millions and millions of dollars.
Our city has that.
But you have to have the person who's behind it pushing for it. That's the whole thing. And Traeger and it's interesting. Was it Traeger or was it Rekia that pushed it for the infrastructure? It might be from the 2009 rezoning. Yeah, that was part of it. So in that part came pushing it forward. So the money was there, but it's years out of their term, so that they might not be there to see it finish, but they know that they started. Okay.
So, do you have any data from when the pipes broke? How expensive was it, and how long did it take for them to repair it?
It's our emergency. It doesn't matter how much it costs, because an emergency is emergency. You have to fix the pipes, but it's more between you and I think it's more of a patchwork than actual fixing of the actual problem. So if it fixes one part of the leak, that section would be good and dandy, but maybe another 500 feet or 1,000 feet further down might also break too. So that's
No.
why we.
I just asked because I thought it's possibly much more expensive for them to be patching it along the way instead of doing, if we could demonstrate to them that this is really.
How much money? Yes, it would be, but I would usually tell let members know that it's not a glamorous budget that people can say, I put my foot behind it, I stand behind it, because it's not something they can see right away. It's something, if it was like a park and playground, yeah, they say, oh, we can do that in 2 years, do it. This is like 5 years, 10 years, and guess what? if they don't get credit for it, why am I spending that much money on it, you know?
I
So,
I understand. Thank you, Eddie. I understand.
In addition, this year's city budget, I think, was $107 billion, and they cut some of
They
that
cut
money
some,
out, okay?
yeah.
On various services. And now we have an issue with the asylum seekers,
Oh, yeah.
and it's gonna cost
Mhm.
$4 billion, $5 billion, we don't know.
Sure.
So the city is strapped. So we definitely need to get federal money in to help us get
Yeah.
over this problem
Yeah.
here.
So,
Otherwise,
yeah.
these things are gonna take 30 years to do, 40 years to do.
Why don't they apply to Congressman Jeffries? He's the federal money.
I mean, you know, like you said, it definitely is a good.
Yeah, I've been trying to get a meeting with a group, okay, for the last, since June, with a leader. He's a leader now, Leader Jeffries, and it's very, very difficult. Because minority leader, yes.
But still,
He's still the leader of the minority. And he has other obligations now. He has to travel the country. We have a 2024 election coming up. He wants to become the majority leader, so he has to put his time, and effort into fundraising and getting the Congress people to take over.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, maybe when he's doing one of these.
That's what he
photo
does.
ops in the community, he can go-
That's
What would they do?
his priority is not going to be CB 13.
Well, I mean, it should be, yeah. Okay, Lucy?
I mean, I have a question.
Yeah.
First of all, it says West 12th Street
Yeah.
to West 21st,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna ask to go all the way to 37.
Yeah.
You indicated in the beginning that some of these streets have already been done?
These streets have been done from West 12th to West 21st Street. Those are done street.
Okay, so why
So-
would you leave them in there and
No, it says, upgraded from. It says upgraded
It's
from.
currently beginning upgraded from.
So we need to continue the upgrade
No.
from that point on. Okay.
I
You
just
got
think the sentence needs.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
we
is-
can-
And this is not,
The old-
this is,
Oh, the old one, yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's already.
Has
Yeah,
already.
I see what you're saying.
It's just
Yes,
English.
yes,
That's just grammar.
you're right.
and
Okay.
also, as the naked eye, you're saying West 12, West 21st, West 37. Are you saying Neptune, Mermaid, and
Anywhere we can get,
surf?
anywhere we can get.
Because to me, this is not clear, but I don't live in the area. I don't
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's anywhere that needs it. So it doesn't, I'm not limited to surf, mermaid, or.
So then I think it
Neptune.
should be more clear because as I said, if someone that doesn't know, they don't know that you're talking about surf, mermaid, and Neptune. Thank you.
Surf, mermaid, Neptune.
I think you should
Sure, okay.
elaborate it a little more.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. We can definitely put that in. But like you said, it's just more, I guess because we've been seeing this for
No, I
last
want
5 and
to
6 years.
say
we've been
that
putting it in.
from what I've seen in this community, and I believe it's 33rd and Neptune, you can swim there.
Yeah.
Like
that's,
literally, I always tell everybody that if they want their car insurance to claim, they can just park their car there on rainy days. That's how horrible it is. And people and this has been going on I'm here 30 years, and for the last 30 years, I still see people saying that that's horrible. Should we write a sentence in there that location, and I know 21st Street too is another one that you swim, but that was already done.
No, still, you can.
No,
still
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's done. I'm saying it was done, and it's still horrible.
Oh.
So what I'm saying is it's up to the committee to add a sentence that especially over 40 years, probably longer, 33rd Street is a
Yeah.
swimming place.
I mean, we can emphasize on that part, which is, see.
I don't want to take away from everything else, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
that it's obvious that nothing's being done.
Yeah.
And when they
Hi,
did
it's Nick Davis, and I live on Bayview and 33rd, and that definitely needs to be done. Whenever it rains very heavy there, it's like an ocean.
exactly.
Yeah.
All the
no.
water is there.
What I would do is this, is to put that as a separate request, only because,
Okay.
because this part is.
Gets in there.
This part, it deals with piping and infrastructure part, the part on 33rd Street to 35th Street.
So would that be an expense then?
Capital. No, this.
No, what I'm speaking of.
Yeah, it's capital.
Okay, is that
It-
capital
it's-
as well?
but-
Okay.
But the only solution that we've spoke to Mario Bruno from DEP is that he said that the pipes have to be lifted based on where the current pipes are now. As the rain comes in from the creek, goes back into the pipes, and that's why it gets flooded on Neptune Avenue.
I gotta
No.
be honest, Eddie, I don't even see them cleaning the catch bases that often.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think I've seen them once in my life that I've been here.
Alright,
And they're
um,
supposed to clean them, if my understanding is every 6 months. And I think I've seen it once. I mean, that doesn't mean they didn't do it when I was home.
Okay.
Okay,
But I doubt it.
okay, we can put that in for our regular.
Another one,
No. We don't wait 2 years for them to clean the
No,
catch
no,
basin.
just bringing topics, I
No.
don't know where it will fall.
But
I'm
I would
telling
definitely
you
put the one for.
that they should, because of the situation with our sewage system.
Yeah.
Our understanding is that the catch bases are supposed to be cleaned. I think it's every 6 months, don't quote me, I don't know, maybe Jeff knows more. But because of these situations that the structure is so old that they should clean them maybe on a monthly basis. And that will probably be an expense, am I correct? I don't think that's a capital, because you're asking them to spend money.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have to. but that-
Operations and expense.
But that wouldn't have to wait in this budget, because that would be called tomorrow and just ask to do it every every quarter.
Can I get in here? I don't know if anybody sees hands
Whoever's
raised
talking,
or.
whoever's talking, wait, Ida, wait for a second. We're not gonna wait.
We're not waiting.
Wait, Eddie, let me talk, please.
Okay.
Calling DEP is like calling my dead mother, okay? And I'm on recording.
Yeah.
But we need to place it in here as an expense for them to continuously do it on a regular 1 month basis. I know you're gonna call DEP tomorrow and they're gonna.
Sure. But it
I
doesn't
don't like
need
to stand there like I'm still
Okay.
waiting for the police. Who was that woman from Parks that said she would meet me in the summer? She still hasn't met me on the boardwalk. I can't remember. And I
Okay.
told her that I said there's more vendors out there than there are people on Friday night. It's
She's not
commissioner.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
Well, there you go. That's why she didn't show up. You know? But I'm saying, great, call DEP tomorrow and ask them, is it every 6 months required? Is it every 3 months? But because of this situation that you're speaking of, they should do it on a more regular basis.
The situation of the flooding is not because of clean. It might be one of the clean part, but the real reason is it is below the grade of the
Okay,
water.
but
And
part
because
of
of
it-
that, and because of that, when there's a heavy microburst, that will definitely get flooded. Because the other day, it wasn't full moon. It rained a lot. It didn't get flooded. It only got flooded when there was a high tide, full moon, and a microburst.
As I said, I've been here 30 years and it's gone beyond that. And I do not believe if they can prove to you that they come every month, then I doubt it
Okay,
highly.
no,
So
but-
something should be placed in something should be placed in the expense part. It doesn't go in the capital, I get it. It should be,
Yeah.
we should have something placed in the expense part when we get there. Whoever wanted to speak.
Okay,
go ahead.
Ida, go ahead.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Unmute.
you remembered me. Okay, this is not an easy problem, a one and done. If the catch basins are dirty, it's because sanitation is not sweeping the streets and the debris is getting caught. So it's not just a matter of having them clean the catch basins. It's a matter of making sure sanitation cleans the streets. And even if the catch basins are cleaned, the problem might be that the outfall itself is clogged with silt. And they did clean out one on West 21st Street about 2 summers ago. And there was a lot of complaints when they cleaned it out because they were making more of a mess. So that might be the other problem. And last but not least, as we know, these outfalls now due to sea level rise, where they enter into the creek, and if you have king tides in the spring, they're below the water level. And that is not an easy problem to fix, and DEP is not going to fix that problem. It's going to all be tied in with the Army Corps of Engineers when and if they do their flood control for this. So if you want to put in about cleaning catch basins, you also need to look at the other half, which is getting the debris out of the catch basins, and that has to do with sanitation, sweeping the streets.
Who puts in those plates that cover the catch base? Who's responsible for that?
DEP lifts up the catch basins to clean them out, okay? They also can vacuum out the pipes, but they usually do that from the creek side. But the catch basins get clogged from street debris.
Well, from
And they get-
sanitation coming down with their truck and just pushing it in there.
Well, and also from homeowners who do not sweep the trash from their sidewalks and who do not sweep into the street. So it's
Okay.
partly sanitation.
I have
Thank
a
you.
question. So you're suggesting maybe an expense budget request for the catch basins to be cleaned once a month? Is that something like if the council member called DEP, they could do like on the request?
I don't know, but I doubt it.
Okay. Because I was gonna say it's like.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we
That's why we don't
swim
want to
here.
wait 2
Yeah, I
years.
know.
We
don't wanna
all
wait
know
2
we
years.
swim here. 21st Street, every time it rains, Eddie call, they call and Eddie has an email saying DEP, please look at the location, but they know it's already there. So why not prepare yourself prior?
Yeah.
Okay,
You know, it's like the snow. When you know snowstorm is coming, they buy tons of salt that sits there, melts.
it's a minute, yes.
So
Okay.
I'm only saying if it's with the committee, if they're fine, I don't know how to word it, but if we can have an expense, and I say expense section because it's costing them money and not asking them to build something that's a capital, am I correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have 2 more people on the website. One is Sanji and then Christopher. Got Sanji, you're first.
When you said website, I'm like, what?
Zoom, on Zoom.
Hi,
Sandy?
good evening, everyone. I just had a quick question. I think, I know on sanitation, they are able to give people tickets for littering.
Yeah, catch them in the
Everybody
app. Yeah, catch them.
Sorry.
Sorry.
They should start enforcing it.
They do. They gave me one for bubblegum wrappers in my driveway.
No, they
Anytime.
didn't, Lucy, for real?
Yes, and cigarette butts, and I fought it, honey, and I won my ticket.
I know. But I just see people just carelessly throwing like huge amounts of trash everywhere. Like the sidewalk is a garbage can. I would love to see that enforced more.
I mean, like you said, that basically is taught to you when you're young. Because
Right.
if you think of it, I hate to say this, but with the high rises, some of the people we've got to
Leave it
report.
alone. Leave it alone.
That's it. And we're just like, yeah, we're like, yeah.
Well, what I
mean,
will
even-
say
Hello?
is sanitation is putting cameras for
Yes.
notoriously illegal
Illegal.
dumping grounds.
Eddie gave them a list of
Yeah.
locations.
Have they done anything?
They haven't started anything yet because they have to investigate where the cameras are going to be, which is we're looking at Brighton Beach Avenue.
Brighton Beach, yes.
That's where I tell you. And right now, they haven't told us if they're going to put it in our neighborhood yet. So, but it's good to
Hello,
know.
this is Mrs. Davis. Can I speak, please?
I think someone
I'm
was
on the
speaking.
phone.
Wait, we got Christopher first, and then after you listen.
Christopher?
Christopher.
Okay,
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Am I able to speak? I'm on the phone. I'm not on Zoom. I'm on a phone. And I would like to be heard.
Okay.
I live on
I-
Bayview and
Christopher, you'll be heard after Christopher.
okay.
Good dear.
Okay, first of all, I agree with Lucy on one thing, because I see this on Facebook. With those storm drains, it doesn't matter if they get cleaned every 6 months to a year. The bottom line is DEP going to take seriously to fix those areas? Because even I was a kid, I went to PS 90, and I never see them fixing it until last year almost, or the year past. But that still needs to be watched in the community, because remember, you have people who want to cross those streets to get to a bus stop, and doesn't matter if it's raining or not, or if it's snowing. it still gets backed up. And trust me, we could smell that sometimes. So DEP says, oh, I'm gonna fix it. I'll believe it when I see that or hear that. So Eddie, I agree with Lucy. We really, as district manager, let's take it really seriously with the odors also, because those areas, it's not fair that a lot of those areas get flooded still. They should be taken this seriously. And by the way, that was Dominic Recchia who put that in. I do remember that. So
Thank you.
let's make this really, let's get it fixed, please, for safety, for seniors and disability. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Davis.
Okay, I live on Bayview and 33rd, and they're supposed to come over here and clean up as well. And the sanitation is supposed to come by and clean the sand and stuff and everything. You have a lot of people who come over to the side where I'm at Bayview and 33rd, and they go over there and they cook, and they have food and trash and everything that's all around there that gets into the drains that's over here. Also, the bushes and the leaves and stuff need to be cut, because when they do eventually break and fall off, they fall into these the drainage as well, and they're not maintaining it over there at all. No one thinks about this end of Bayview, where Bayview and 33rd is everybody up forward to, the other areas, and they totally forget about us back here. The bus has to come back here too, and it makes it very difficult for the buses to come by. It's at the point where if one car is coming one way and the bus is coming another way, they got to stop to let the bus come by, because if they don't, it'll be in a collision or an accident. And it's been several accidents where there's piles of sand that's in the road, and when people are trying to get by with their cars, especially if they're not paying attention, they've had so many crashes from people trying to get by with the sand and the dirt and everything that's there. Something's got to be done.
Okay, all right, well, you have to remember, we're in a committee that's gonna deal with budget 2 years from now. So we're not waiting 2 years from now for this to be answered. This is basically a multi-agency that has to deal with it, which is sanitation, Parks Department, the PEP officers. It goes down the list, but they will be notified right away. This right now, what we're talking about is issues on a budget that's gonna be handled in 2025. So we're not waiting 2025. We're going to address this right away, okay? But next time, don't wait for a meeting like this. Call our office so we can, what you should do first, call 311, get a complaint number, tell them that you just put in a complaint number so that we can do the follow-up on that number that you just reported, or just got from 311. From there, we would tell the Parks Department, sanitation, PEP officers to expedite it, because we know that this is true and that this is legit, and they can't close it right away. All right, so
Eddie,
like
no disrespect to you, but I have taken pictures. I have even sent pictures to Justin. What is his last name? I can't.
Brennan.
I sent pictures to him. I sent pictures to Mark Traeger when he was in office and everything. I even sent pictures of where a car flew and went into two other cars and crashed because he was talking to someone and didn't realize that there was sand in his way for him to get by. I did that plenty of times. I called 311 too about it, and nothing has changed.
So from here on now, the next time you see the sand building up, that you feel that it's going to be in that crazy condition, give us a copy of that complaint number so that we can follow up on it. And then
so when we end this meeting, I'm going to make sure that I call 311 and let them know what's going on, because right now there's a big sand thing here and the buses can't get by like they need to.
And Ms. Davis, you can also upload your pictures to them too.
And send it to us too. So they can see.
Well, I have to get, I'm not good at using the internet and stuff like that. I gotta learn a little bit better. But
I think
these sand piles is ridiculous.
I think what she's talking about is, of course, Eddie, you'll work on it and with her request, but it also fits, and you keep trying to emphasize and saying, this is not for this year, this is for another year. But you have to place it in here for expenses that would increase manpower or employee power, whatever you want to say it, to not to continue these situations. So this should be placed somewhere in the expense section.
I mean, right now, we'll put it
That,
under other, because there is nothing under
they,
here.
right, they always say
Actually,
manpower, but so that way it doesn't continue moving further throughout the years. You're saying this is only for next year, the following year, that we don't want to wait. I understand that you take care of her problem right now, but it's not going to be taken care of when we all know reality is not going to happen. So you place it here as an expense and say, increase park department's budget so they can
Allocate.
Thank you, guys. You guys always got my words, but we need to place that in there. But we'll go moving forward. Maybe that's the topic for Parks Committee, but
Yeah, it's Park,
We'll
it's
go
usually
from
under
there.
Parks. Committee.
okay.
I don't know. Something that I think it is in the Parks
Okay.
Department section
All right.
more than sanitation,
Not a
because
problem.
there is their land. So anyway, moving right along, we are gonna put in the part, as Lucy mentioned
Excuse me,
about.
I have my hand raised.
Again?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ida. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm really tired of living in a parallel universe as far as some of these issues are concerned. Yeah, you can get the Parks Department. This same problem has been going on since 1994. That's where it started. I have community board minutes here from years talking about this sand problem. You can get the Parks Department down, they can get the bulldozers in, they're gonna push it off the street, and it's coming back. And yes, there is a permanent solution to this sand problem. And how Congressman Jeffries is well aware of the problem, because I was there when it was talked about. And the problem is that the sand has accumulated to the point where it has gone over the bulkhead line of the property owners of people in Seagate who live on the Coney Island Creek side. And they have to be willing to turn over this underwater land to the government so that the government can maintain it. The Army Corps of Engineers can come in and in 1 to 2 days remove all of that sand from the tip of Seagate all the ways up on Bayview Avenue. But they can't do it unless they're allowed to go on to what is now private property. Now, some of the Seagate homeowners on that side are willing to do this, but many of them are not willing to do it because they like having beachfront property. So until this issue is resolved in Seagate, and with the few Seagate homeowners that are holding the rest of the peninsula hostage to this, you're just going to get Band-Aid situations. You can get Parks down, and what Parks has to do is they can't just shovel it. And Eddie, this is the other little, dirty little secret here. They have to get gigantic earth movers from the Fresh Kills landfill in and bring them over the Verrazano Bridge in the dead of night. So you can have a temporary solution of having Parks push it back, but there's not going to be any permanent solution until these homeowners in Seagate who live on the Bayside decide to get with the program. And that's the bottom line. And
You're
let's
right.
put it out in the open and stop hiding it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ida. All right, so, okay, so Barbara, you have the corrections on that one, right? We're going to add a little bit more about Surf Mermaid and Neptune, and how we're also going to make it more specific about what is done. Yeah, about what is done. And then also for the 33rd Street to 35th Street, we're gonna put that on a separate item, only because that is totally different from what we're asking for here. Okay, so moving right along, you guys are lucky. We're going all the way to CS, which is continuous support, which is page 11. All the way to page 11. Yes. All right, so continuous support means that they have supported this and they basically are still using it.
But you can't have this on the CS if you have it over here.
No,
The same one.
but it's but this is dealing with what do you call it? It's
It
basically
looks like the same, right?
it does look the same. Right?
The explanation's different, no?
I
Is
think
it?
it might be different. Yeah, look at the explanation because that's why I wrote it in there.
Okay,
And it's not.
which one was it?
Number 8.
And then I just looked.
Request is the same.
Rest
Yeah,
of the
no, it's
same,
the same.
yeah, but.
Looks like a copy and paste to me.
No, but if you read it. See, this one mentions about Superstorm Sandy. The other one just mentions about that we need it in general for a short-term and long-term projects. I mean, it's basically, they're telling us that they continue supporting our ideas, asking for this. What they've done, is, as you can see, it says here, talk to the agency about it. But they listed this as continued support, not us. We didn't list it, they did.
I got a question, Ed. When their response says, further investigation of this request is needed. Is that are they saying they need a study done, another study done?
No, the rubber stamp.
Rubber stamp. That.
What's further investigation? Do you ever get an explanation on that?
Yeah, we can ask them, but this is what they put in for us, saying that they continue supporting this as a priority. So they put money into it. What it is, we can ask them for what it is.
Because they must have studies out of the kazoo. On these
I
things.
don't know if it's a study.
Yeah, it could just be like, we'll
We'll
do a
continue to do
meeting on
this,
it
yeah,
one
and then
day.
that's it. But it just, it's not a number, as you can see. They took it out of the number priority and put it as continued support. So it's still going on with them. So, but like you said, we didn't put these numbers in here. They did for us, the continued support part. So that I'm just leaving it as is. I mean, it's something good. I mean, if you want to take it out, just means that, they've, it doesn't really mean anything. It just means that they've done their part, but it's a continued support on it. That's all. Okay. So other than that, all right. So the capital part we'll put in as item number 32. 32 is now going to say other, and then we're going to say about West 32nd Street and West 33rd Street on Neptune Avenue continues to flood. We would like this to be fixed, okay, in so many words. I'll figure it out. But it's that part.
Add in there
Yeah.
that there's a school adjacent to
And
it,
there's a school next to it that gets
adjacent
affected
to it, that
It
it's
gets-
tremendously affected for 90 years.
School and other buildings too, and other residential
Well,
buildings.
they got high rises there, they're not being
No,
affected.
the
but the
other
school
one,
is.
the other one next to it on the same side.
Okay.
Okay, but I'll put that in as item number 32, so. All right, so now we are in the capital, the expense part. We're on the expense part, and the next one goes to page number 16, which
Can you
is,
put the AC back on? I'm dying.
okay, number
I
11.
go through menopause.
Oh, God.
Thank you, I'll put that in a minute.
Sorry.
Please do, I'm sure
Okay.
everybody heard me on the recording.
Now, this said that this was.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Okay. All right, this said that this was funded, so I don't know if we should continue to put this in here, number 11.
Thank you, Hannah.
All right. And it says investigate and address water quality complaints at address or specific street segment. And we need more DEP inspector for the industrial waste and water line, since the illegal dumping from Beach Haven apartments. The community is concerned about future dumping from other developments and industrial businesses. For our water quality of the creek, we need to find illegal connections to the creek and have them close off or repair. And then as they said, is that they've done it. So I guess we could take this off.
Well, has the problem been solved?
It says it's been funded, exactly. It
yeah.
doesn't say it's been
Yeah, I
resolved.
don't
Okay.
see where.
All right, so you want to leave it in? You can leave it in there then. All right, I'm not.
Well, it's ongoing support now. That's-
No, this is not ongoing. This is number 11.
No, but it should be ongoing.
This is under
Expenses, you
expenses.
can't do it, continue
Yeah,
support.
yeah, that is the weird part of it. But we can put it there.
And I have a question, I'm sorry to jump in there without raising my hand, because there might be other people. Why are you only specifically talking about Beach Haven apartments?
Like I
This
said.
issue is, you want me to get my sentences out or not? This issue, from my understanding, is everywhere here. So why are we only focusing on Beach Haven apartments?
Okay, Beach Haven was the one that basically cracked everything open. They've been doing it they've been doing it. They got caught with their pants down, and a lot. It wasn't a little. They got fined $400,000 and went back into the community through educational views, seminars and stuff like that. And now the question is, I would say 90% figured out what the connections are, but some of them, of course, are still not found. What I can do here is that we can put under explanation is we continue to support the need of of the DEP inspectors, and for the industrial waste and water lines. So we can write the word continue and put it towards the end of the request, so that it's not on number 11 being up there. Good. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
You
said. Laughing at Jeff.
I mean, I see that, I'm sorry?
No, I'm laughing with
Okay.
Jeff's face
Well,
reaction.
This,
Facial reaction.
from whichever line that says it was already funded.
Yeah.
But you said they've already fixed this, but I don't know. That's other information you have, or?
When they say fixed, the creek does not smell good. Means that
it
ain't fixed. So they funded where they located this problem here, but there still continues to have illegal connectors into the creek. I know for a fact, we all know for a fact that it's not a clean creek.
Yeah.
And based on that, we say that we continue to support the need for DP inspectors for whatever it is in here, and put it as the back of the request, which is like number 49. So we'll make this number 49 and move everything up, so that it's still relevant, that we need it, but it's not taking up space as a priority. Because right now it's taking up as a priority, saying that it needs to be looked at. Okay, now it's been funded and is working on it. We don't need to put it up as immediate because the money has been allocated to that project.
Right.
So
we just need to find out what's happening.
No, but
they're not doing anything.
Can I jump in and say the wording is, since the illegal dumping, the community is concerned about future dumping. Future dumping makes, in my opinion, seem like, oh, we just have this paranoia that this might come around again, when this is like a reality we're currently dealing with of a not so clean creek. So should the wording be changed of like, we want ongoing investigations to happen as we believe there continues to be illegal connections?
Illegal, we know.
We know.
Yeah, we know.
Right?
We know,
Like,
we know.
I think stronger language might be necessary.
And maybe remediation as well. I keep on putting my hand signal up, but it goes away. Could we also ask for remediation in addition to inspection?
Let's see. Just trying to say.
Isn't that where you want to give it more?
We're always gonna write it down. We could say ongoing. We could say ongoing. What you call it?
Since the illegal dumping from Beach Haven Apartments, the community wants ongoing investigations and illegal connections from all buildings,
They are investigating illegal connections under the MS4 program. It is ongoing. They have found several more illegal connections. The work is ongoing. Beach Haven was an issue because this was being done willfully, okay? It takes time to crack down these ongoing connections. You're never gonna get rid of the sewage problem in the creek because you have a combined sewer outfall that comes from the Owl's Head water treatment plant, and it goes into the creek around 15th Street on the North Shore, and that is gonna be with us forever, until they have billions with a B, billions of dollars and years to start separating sewer lines north of the creek. The creek water quality did improve once the Avenue V pumping station was built. But again, you're not getting rid of sewage in the creek, and MS4 is underway. So perhaps that is why they're saying that the request has already been funded, because it's being funded under the MS4 program.
Thank you for the clarification. We also have online
Are
is
you gonna
Chris.
use her wording?
We can,
I think it's up to the committee, no?
if you want
I
to
think
use it.
your wording is fine.
If your wording is fine.
Good.
We'll pick it
Go
up
for it.
from Zoom on YouTube
Well, she
later.
can repeat it. It's a one
Oh,
sentence.
no, probably.
Yeah, repeat it.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You writing it
I know,
down?
she's like, yeah.
You writing it down, Abby?
No, she's right.
Since the illegal dumping from Beach Haven apartments, the community is requesting additional investigation and
We said ongoing investigation.
ongoing
No, I
investigation.
mentioned,
Thank you.
ongoing, just ongoing.
Investigations
Yeah.
in illegal connections to the creek and have them closed off or repaired. As we know, this is ongoing.
Yeah. Okay,
I don't know.
It's on-
okay.
What is Chris? Yes?
Yes, Chris.
Chris has a question. Wait patiently. I know why. The one thing I just want to add in, and I agree with Ida as well as everyone, but the concern is also during when we have hurricane storms, you know, it's not just one. Since these new buildings that are being built in Coney Island, I hope we're going to be keeping an eye on those water in those buildings, because those new apartments going in, we do need to make sure that their water is still, you know, clean and healthy as well. As the mayor has mentioned this like 100 times already, we do need to check the new buildings as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. All right, so, all right, my other question then is, do you want to leave it at number 11 or do you want to push it down to 49? It's up to you guys.
Well, let's leave it where it is.
Okay, all right, that's fine by me.
All right, so we're leaving it, we're not putting it.
Okay, which is fine. All right, so moving right along. See, you guys got it very easy. 19, page 19 for number 23. This is a simple. Increase enforcement of canine waste. Yeah, basically we need to get enforcement, and they said due to constraint, the availability is for fund is uncertain. But we need it because basically the dogs don't, owners don't curb the
I
dog,
was looking at
and we
sanitation.
want them to get enforcement to, you know, enforce the law.
We can't get
I know.
enforcement for the illegal vendors.
Yeah,
so
no, we're gonna get
enforcement
for the dog, but we need it because people have complained, and of course, there's not enough dog runs in the area, so guess what? They're doing it in the street.
What dog runs do we have?
We have them, we have them, we have them on Luna Park here. We have one over on Trump Village.
That's
Village
levy?
Island. Not as, it doesn't have
That's
one yet.
illegal.
But for the ones that do have it are private land.
Okay, I'm
So-
still not hearing the locations. Everybody jumped in and needed this an error. What locations we have?
No, but those are not, the private. they're
So
not public.
then now,
That's
then
part-
that's a bigger
But
thing.
that's for
So,
parks.
okay, so then
That's not
now, since you mentioned that, then maybe we could jump back to the capital section and say we would like a public.
There is,
Yeah, but that's under parks.
Yeah.
That's not, yeah.
not our committee though.
That's not,
Okay.
yeah.
A public
We
park,
don't.
a dog park?
It's for the SLU one,
A
right?
dog park
Yes,
is
we
not
have
a
that.
dog
We
park.
did that.
Yeah.
We-
Right,
Where's the
okay.
parks?
So
Westfall.
to make the
For
comment
dog
about dog parks has nothing to do with dog waste in the streets.
You're right. You're right.
Well, he
Yeah.
brought that up, so I said, let's build a park for the public, not the private sectors only. But we'll talk about that at the parks.
Yeah, parks.
That's a great
Yeah.
idea.
Sure.
Okay, but
Yeah.
then Jeff, Jack is making a very good point. And we're talking about waste, we're not talking about dogs running around.
Yeah,
But
sanitation, that's why we need to increase the enforcement of sanitation.
There is no enforcement.
But
Well,
we increase enforcement,
That's
that's what we're saying.
Yeah, there's no enforcement at all. They need to really increase it, start enforcing over.
But you're increasing the enforcement to have people issue them tickets, but they're not enforcing anything, no matter what you do. So to me, it's like,
Knocking your head against the wall.
Yeah,
Right.
May I ask,
yeah.
when Mark was in office,
Yeah.
he funded like a cleaning service?
Mhm.
What was it called, like workforce or workplace?
people that
Wet,
clean.
the wet,
No, no,
not
no.
wet,
No, the people
Wildcat.
that-
Yeah,
Wildcat.
why, yeah,
Wildcat.
is that still happening in this community?
Yes, and the councilmatic discretionary funds, so they have funds for it.
Is that something that we can routinely call on in problematic areas?
See, this is a budget and not,
No, she's asking a different question. Can we-
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm asking like
Wildcats
strategy wise,
Yeah.
like,
To come and clean, to go clean.
You just tell where the garbage is, and then we mention it to the council person, and then the council
Well, that's
person
what
does
she's
it.
saying.
Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to. Not like you said, wait until 2 years from now to get it done on a project that might not even get funded either. But with.
Can it be routinely done? Like, why do we have to complain every time it's like to an extent where it's unbearable? Shouldn't it be
It's
cleaning on a
money.
schedule?
Well, that's what Zanera's mentioning, that can we reach out to Wildcats to go clean? And that Eddie's gonna reach out to them.
Yeah, but the
I
whole
don't
thing
know,
there.
I don't know.
This
I
had
have
nothing to do with
pictures.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, no, I support this being in
Yeah,
here.
no,
Yeah,
This
no,
is
no.
great, but I think
At
at
the
the same
moment.
time,
Yes.
if we know areas where there are a lot of dog owner, and there are very specific areas that you could point out that is just terrible with this specific canine waste. I think we should routinely send an email to the council member's office. I know we have district manager cabinet meetings, but I think there should be a routine email to the councilman's office saying, we want Wildcat to visit this corner, this corner, this corner.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out, not that, see,
I don't like this wording. It's like a
Yeah, I also,
lame wording.
people need
Please
to be fined and
fine times to make them understand. And
I know, it's a
owners to
little.
catch them in the act. I mean,
yeah, because you see.
I'm not a writer, but this seems
No,
like
but see, what you have to
I
also
think you need to
remember.
write something a little more stronger. And this seems to me third grade wording, and I'm not a writer. Sorry.
But okay, so anybody have any suggestion for this part then? It's you. Oh, good. And it's not, the third grade writing's gonna go in there. I just saying that.
Yeah, I don't
Eddie,
think they
just
do
for a
though.
point of
No.
information. Call up Sanitation. I'd like to know how many tickets they gave out to people they found not picking up after their dogs or putting their dog waste
But it's
into
not-
the sewers.
Well,
I'd like to know.
my follow-up is
Yeah,
like,
I like
do
to know
these
too.
streets have trash cans?
Oh, yeah, they all have trash.
And they're
cans.
just ignoring
It's just ignoring it. They don't have a, what do you call it, the
They
plastic
just
bag
leave
to grab it and put it, and if they do, they put it closer to the sewage and throw it down the sewer line. Because that's what I see sometimes they do it, and it goes to.
When it comes to the beach in the heavy rains.
Yes. So the question there is, see, think of it this way, we're not gonna solve all these problems with just this budget either. So what we have to do is try to figure out what is doable and what can we address now. I mean, like I said, don't wait 2 years. We're not gonna ask them to clean this corner 2 years from now because it's gonna be an ongoing problem. I don't think the mentality of the people are gonna change right away either to address the, making them more conscious of picking up after the dog.
But to go back to Lucy's point about the explanation and the
Yeah.
request in general, it sounds like you're requesting more sanitation officers to be on the ground here to just give people more fines, whether it's dog litter or just regular litter, no?
Regular litter, yes.
Are you saying that we should educate them or is not what we want them to do?
No, I mean,
Because if you.
what are you
have-
asking in this explanation?
See, I think we're asking here is more enforcement unit, increased enforcement, which means enforcement means tickets. If you are asking for tickets, I think, I don't know if it's common knowledge that that people know not to defecate on the corner, I mean, I'm just trying to
Do
figure
you
out.
understand, to make
But
them understand,
that's-
you give them a ticket, you understand
There's
what you're doing.
consequences.
Yes,
This is
I
what you
agree.
do.
Okay, so.
You don't have
what
to explain to
is-
them.
Okay, so is this good then or not?
There's really no problem with dogs. It's the people.
It's people, yeah, true, sure, it's the people, yeah, because the dog has to go, but the people is the one who is responsible because the dog
And the
can't do it
people just
himself.
Walk away
Okay.
because I see it all
I think if you took out,
That's infuriating.
All right, Chris, you have something to say?
Yes, and I agree with everyone saying, because remember, I used to have a dog and, by law, there were signs used to been saying that you don't pick it up, the fine is $150 that time. So I think signages need to be increased, but I agree with Jeff that, if people are not going to show respect and pick up the dog's number 2, and I'm being respectful, it needs to be addressed really strongly because it's not, they really, they need to take responsibility to their dogs, But at the same time, also, we got to remember that we do have people who have service animals and they do try to pick it up. But remember, it's not fair to them also who are can't see, who are blind. But the ones who are not blind know better too. So we do need to, educate the Department of Sanitation too, because if they want us to follow their rules, they need to be educated very strongly, because I have not seen them taking things seriously or taking anyone who is littering or leaving legal garbage in certain areas. Like, come on, they block the bus stops sometimes, and that's not a sanitation station or a garbage zone. So it needs to be taken, they need to go back to education on that. Seriously. Thank you.
Okay, got mine.
I just think if you take the second sentence out, people need to be fined enough. And we need to increase enforcement.
Okay.
We need more officers, and just take that
Second out,
second out.
People need to
I mean,
that's.
I think that's a good
Okay, yeah,
idea.
that's fine, that's fine.
anything else,
Yeah.
like making the fine $2,000 or something to get their attention. That's even if you could, that's like going to be an old
That's
me
right.
or whatever.
Sure.
That's
Well,
not going to
also,
be
they-
anything here.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm done.
You
Thank you.
can't
Right.
give them a fine if they ask for ID and the
That's right.
person
They
says,
don't have an
I don't
ID.
have ID with me.
Yeah, because in the
And
morning,
then
you're
they're
asking
yeah,
for
in the
baby
morning.
shit.
Sure.
They can
Not
take
in
away
this
their dog.
city.
Oh.
That's a good idea, Lucy.
Well, okay, all right, we got two more guys and that's it.
Because if you walk a dog in the road, wrap
I'm
down.
not
Same thing with off the leash.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
that's-
leash, that's totally different. Yeah, that's safety. That I couldn't tell you.
See if you was the dog wise.
Okay, all right,
I can't sit.
we're going next on page 22, number 35.
I'm leaving at 8:30.
Well,
So
let me finish. All right, come on.
Jack, please.
All right, come on, let's go. All right, so number 35 is next one, expansion of
What page?
disposal.
I'm sorry.
Page 22. Page 22.
Item number
35. And it's basically expanding disposal event of for hazardous household waste. We just need more of these to be, in our area. And instead of having us travel to like Fort Benefit or but then the response is, they support it, but due to financial constraint, that is uncertain of it. But we still need it, so I think
Great.
that's fine, right?
Great.
This is dumb.
What?
This is something that you can speak to one of your local council people, which I've seen them all, like they do the shredded.
No, but
Yeah,
this is hazard. This is a hazard.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen council members,
Okay, you want me to take it out?
Council,
I can take it out. I have
No,
one.
it's just.
council, right? Let's just say council. I've seen in different boroughs that they have sponsored for computers, for.
Yeah. TV.
There's two different issues. One is hazardous and one is like electronic. Electronic
It's
stuff.
like throwing right round up.
What you're talking about, batteries, it doesn't have.
Paint cans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but
It's hazard.
I understand that you're supposed to now bring those as a homeowner, if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you're supposed to make an appointment with sanitation and bring it to,
For them to dispose of.
for them to dispose of. So, but you're saying, don't have people do that, go and have an event for them to do it, which is never gonna happen because people don't even go to the space. So, I mean, I don't think we're supposed to put paint outside either. I'm supposed to call them to pick up paint.
I don't think that's correct. I think you can either drive to Gateway.
Right,
they're
that's
there
what I'm
all the
saying.
time, or the docks up by
Navy
to be red, or whatever.
Oh, right.
Brooklyn North.
So they have places for
that's-
people to go. But what he's saying,
Well, those are
but
no.
what Eddie's saying to have an event,
Make it local.
right? But they're not having it. It's not happening. Well, how long has this been there?
It's been there.
And when was the last event?
They haven't had one yet. They haven't had one, but if you don't ask for it, you're not gonna get it either.
No, there is a disposable safe event. It's called DSNY's I'm looking at it, April 16th,
Day.
Brooklyn Safe event at the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal. Accepted items are syringes,
Sure.
thermostats, hazardous household products, electronics, automotive products.
Yeah.
So you can bring this.
But
over,
is that
right?
south? We want it south here, so it'll be local, so it's closer, yeah.
But I think Lucy's point is you go to your elected official for that rather than.
Okay, I mean.
That's just, I
So-
just see it as
okay,
a
so-
thing that
okay,
you
so
can
we cross
call
it. I
for
can
your
cross it
elected
out.
official and say, listen, they're having it. Okay, so for example, they had, summer streets this week.
Yeah.
And they have them in every borough. So you're saying, let's place it in our capital and expenses that we want summer streets in our district. That's irrelevant. You contact the agency that's doing summer streets and say, can we have it in the Coney Island section next time? Because you're always going to Prospect Park and you're always going here. But that's what I'm trying to go with this, that can we go to the agency sanitation and say, listen, can you sponsor an event in this community? I understand you have it. Let me finish my sentence. I believe you have it in section A, section B, section C. We were like, but to place it in your capital and expense, to me, it's.
Well, I mean, it was an option there. So if it was an option there, I chose to use it. Not because we said it was something that was out of due. You see what I'm saying? No, I'm saying the way this was there, it was part of an expense. If it wasn't there, I would have never brought it up. But it's because it's there, why not we just check it off and say, we need it?
Because it's never happened. And
But
you
it
need
doesn't-
to
if
reach
you don't
out to your
ask, you don't
elected
get.
official. All right, listen, let's up to the
Okay,
committee.
but
And then just reach out to the elected.
Okay.
And then maybe.
All right, just to give you no, don't put in that, you can't do it. You're gonna get feedback.
Yeah, she's going on the phone. Yeah.
Okay, all right, so the other thing is prior to the.
I mean,
what
you're
do
the
you call it?
district
No,
manager,
no, no, no,
contact
no, no.
sanitation and say, I want to have an event in my
Prior
community.
to the pandemic, I did reach out to them for shredding, and I did. And they said, oh, no, we don't do it. You have to get your elected officials at that time. All right?
Okay,
And each time they said.
So it's easy now. Reach out to your elected
Okay,
official.
but like I said, this was a checkoff list here that had.
Household waste event.
Like I said, I'm
just saying.
I have no problem about the question. I'm saying to you guys why it's in here. It's
I
because it was
understand
in
why
the
it
list
was
in there. If it
but-
wasn't a list in there, it would never been checked off.
No, but like you said, they told you to.
So the question is, do you want me to leave it in or not?
I would say like, take it out.
All right, then that's fine.
That's my opinion.
I personally lean towards leaving it in because, yes, I fully agree that this is something the council member, senator, whoever should be putting up, right? They put paper shredding events, they do other kinds of electronical, disposing and all of that. So I do think it's appropriate for the council member to do it. But I think this document as a whole is our priorities. It's things that we want to see happening. If we don't ask for it, it doesn't get funded. They already said they don't have the money for it. That's their response for majority of these things.
There's another way of looking at it in there. If you take this off, they'll have money for other things in the sanitation part. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Okay, maybe they'll have, another 2 sanitation guys to give tickets to the people who are illegally dumping their dumps. I'm just saying.
I think it's very ideal to think that, but I think that this is more of a priorities budget.
Okay.
Maybe you want to lower it on the priority list.
It is low, it's like 35.
I just use the closing of the streets events. And why don't you just throw that in there too? We want the street events here too. I mean, you're gonna ask for events. To me, capital and expense budgets is not relevant to that. I don't know, but.
Okay, well, you guys can.
I vote to take it out. And I don't know if anybody wants to go around the table.
Co-chair, what do you say, co-chair?
I'm sorry, may I?
Take it.
I just want to agree with the fact that when you ask elected official, it's more like spontaneous thing. What is this particular request is saying that we want to have regular events? If we just add.
But they haven't given you one. They haven't given you one.
In 30
Well, I
years.
understand, but we don't have sanitation garage in 43 years.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, well, it's a major, that's a capital expense.
This is to bring you back.
That's a capital expense and this here is, an expense for the community.
Okay, so
Like I said,
Maybe don't call it.
for me, like I said, if we take this out, they could say on the next one, we have money for the other one that we were looking for. Because this could be an event that the councilman could do.
Spontaneous thing. Okay. It's not regular, but if you take it out,
okay.
And I think we would have a better chance with a councilman getting it because they like photo ops.
I think you could do both.
Okay.
Make that request.
So we have how many?
Yeah.
Okay.
In
So
I didn't hear from.
We go the councilman and the photo op way and
So
it
out?
Yeah, I don't
So-
think this
I
is
said
really,
get out.
it's like the shredding event. We don't have a
Not
shredding
serious,
event,
but
but
Yeah. Well,
Do you
Jack,
have a say?
what do you think?
I'm fine with that.
Which is?
which one? Politicians answers.
Totally lost.
In or out, that's it.
Well,
Keep it in. I mean, come
and
on.
Lucy, what do you want?
I said out.
So it's 3 and 3. See, that's why you need an odd number.
Taking it out,
Okay.
if you can make this request this week to our council member.
No, we always can make the request. It's the.
No, but will
saying-
you?
It's just, we can always,
We'll
we can
take
always
it
go.
if we can actually get it done.
See, what you also have to do is this, is that the council is supposed to look at this every time we send it to them, which we do, and see what is their priority that they could do. Whether they look at it seriously or not, that's up to them. Because they've seen all of this many, many times over. No,
Election
but then-
time, they'll put
but
their
you
mother
see
on
what
an
I'm
event. And,
We're talking about hazardous materials.
Yeah.
Don't you need a facility that can deal with hazardous materials?
Sanitation will.
But where are you?
No, we don't, no, sanitation, you don't run it. The money had to go towards the sanitation to get it done, whether it's in Owl's Head or over at Fort Bennett Field, wherever. But it's sponsored by, no, but it was sponsored by.
Where do they have?
They have a,
I know.
they have a,
She just looked.
I was looking at their website.
they have a central facility.
yeah, they already have separate, when you go there,
Yeah.
you know, put the French fry bulbs here, put the
Or-
It's
lithium.
described on what to bring,
Yeah.
how to bring it, and
That's
then
true.
for the section under what happens to it, it says materials collected are either recycled, blended for fuel, or sent to a licensed hazardous waste treatment facility for safe disposal. Electronics are recycled or refurbished for reuse through ERI. Unwanted medications are managed by environmental police and incinerated to prevent unintentional poisonings or entry into the water supply.
So they don't really say where it's going.
They say
Okay,
they're doing stuff.
all right,
Yeah.
Minnie, Chris, and Sanji,
Staten Island.
because we're getting ready to wind everything up, so you can make it quick, Minnie, you're first.
Yes, I wanted to say that prescription drugs, there used to be a box in the police department where people could bring that. And for other hazardous materials, especially now with these lithium batteries that are causing fires, maybe there would be a local place in the fire department where people can bring certain things that it would be in the immediate community where they can dispose of something in a safer way. That's all I wanted to say.
Take prescription drugs. Right there on them too. Yes.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, expired.
Expired ones. Well, they'll probably take new ones too. I don't care. I'm sure they'll take.
One on the.
Yes.
All right,
Moving on.
yes,
You just have to remove.
all right, Chris, and then Sanji.
I'm gonna be quick if I don't get interrupted. One thing Lucy is correct about pharmacies. Pharmacies do take those medications. Doesn't matter if they're expired or not. Remember, you also have those needles that also have to go in. And second, I agree with some of the members. You should keep it on because it's not the city council does this. You're forgetting your state senator and the assembly does that too. So let's not forget that, please.
We
And
said elected. We said elected.
no.
And
I didn't-
prescriptions are not hazarded, are they?
Yeah, I think.
They
they-
consider it hazardous?
Yeah.
Or some of them?
Are, especially if they get
Fentanyl.
And
water
needle too,
table.
and
Yeah.
needles too.
Fentanyl.
Correct,
All right,
and they have to be also in a special container, because I know,
Yes.
because once you bring them to Walgreens or CVS, they have a special container that goes in there. but you have to make sure that it's completely protected.
Great. All right, last one, is Sanji.
Yeah, lastly, I think that the budget should reflect more investment to waste management solutions. I would like to see more trash receptacles like on the streets. They have newer ones that are electronic, and once it gets filled, it sends like a note to DSNY saying like this trash is full and you
Yes.
need service. In addition to that, also we need to talk about pest control. Like we need to invest in more fumigation and stuff like that in the streets because the rats are running rampant.
Yes, yes, they are.
Peppermint.
Yes, peppermint, that's right.
Can you add that to, I don't know, would it be an expense or a capital, but to increase, to the more professional garbage receptacles.
I'm not sure if there is
There's a signage sheet.
for receptacles, let me see. Because that, I'm not sure if something like that.
Oh,
even
sanitation.
exists, to be-
Relevant.
Yeah, okay, we could put it in. It says provide new upgrading sanitation. Oh, wait, no, that's garages. I'm looking at garages.
Provide compact, is that?
Collection.
The one
Yeah,
that's
the big belly ones, Madam
Solar
Chair.
Oh, you go, there,
That's
look,
it,
he
that's
got it.
solar.
Oh, we got it.
Activated.
In our district.
Yeah, I put the link inside the chat. It's the big belly.
Yes,
We get them when they go.
okay, yeah, it says provide on-street trash can and recycling containers.
No,
Yeah, but
he
Yes.
just said,
that's under this.
no, but he just said a better
Oh, no, okay.
explanation.
Solar activated.
Bring us the stuff from the upper class neighborhoods and bring it to us.
Yeah, in the upper class neighborhoods, they have the big belly
do.
trash.
Well, we're gonna go steal them. Don't tell anybody. You're gonna go in the middle of the night,
Got it recorded.
bring them here.
Oh, it's not our fault. All right,
So
all right, we
what
got
number
one
would
last
that
one.
be, Eddie, what number is that gonna be, a high priority?
That's gonna be the last one only because it's something new and I don't know if someone's going to say this is more important than their priority at this point. Because it's something that is new and it's like you said, it's provide more on-street trash cans section that if you look at it.
But the more like, Madam said, the high class ones, like the electronic.
Yeah, I know. No. We got the solar panel
Yeah.
one that we're gonna put in there specifically, but I don't know if we can push it.
For like, pest control.
I'm not sure if pest control is over here. No, that's on the Department of Health. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay,
to
right.
the Department of Health Committee. Sorry. All
Okay,
right, so
sorry.
last one, guys. The last
Okay.
one is number 49. It's the last one because of the air quality. I think we have to redefine it. Because now we could also put in about the wildfires of Canada. So someone please give me some wording for this. I need help on this one. Because originally we mentioned about how the mold was affecting people and with the air quality. And now that we know that wildfires from a distance can affect us too.
Well, because you're saying respiratory problems. If you go to Dr. Cooper Smith, everybody in this neighborhood has, you heard Dr. Cooper Smith on 21st Street? She's like 90 years old now.
Oh.
And everybody that goes to Walgreens has asthma.
Is it?
I'm sorry.
If
Okay,
you go on any weather, weather.com.
yeah.
It gives you the air quality.
Quality index.
Every
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yeah,
So why
something new
don't we
now.
monitoring?
And it's something new. Well, I got something over here. I made a couple of notes on it.
Okay, good.
And I sent it to Eddie. Eddie should send it out to everybody in the community. Okay? On August, they were doing an air monitoring study in the state. Okay, New York, the whole New York state. In the New York area, they were basically doing some in Manhattan, northern Brooklyn, and from the Bell Parkway north.
Okay.
Not us, okay? So I've been on a couple of the meetings on their community advisory group. And they're having another one on August 22nd. They didn't give us the time yet, but they called us around 2 and data review. I mean, I looked at it, I didn't understand it. You have the The company that's doing this called Aclima. They've been driving around in their cars, collecting the air quality and putting in their algorithms and all that. Very, very technical, and they really don't break it down until Borough Hall does, Brooklyn Borough Hall does. So it's between Aclima and DEC. They got the contract, Aclima got the contract from DEC, and they're doing their study, and this will be a review. Now, also, DEC will be having a meeting on September 7th. Eddie, I sent you the flyer on it.
Yes.
The mistake is on their flyer is December 6th, or September 6th, but they changed it to September 7th.
Okay.
At 3 o'clock.
That is not a mistake. Can you tell them to give you an update?
Yeah,
flyer?
They will.
Okay.
They work in two speeds, slow and stop. Okay?
All right, Jim. It's getting late. Go ahead.
Okay, we're trying to get from DEC to help us out with the super fund.
Sure.
We still haven't heard from them, right? You gotta
Yeah,
speak
we're
to
still
Tara.
waiting- Still waiting for
Okay.
them.
So, that's the two announcements I got.
Okay.
Eddie, send it out to
Yeah,
the.
we're gonna give out one for the August 22nd because that comes up first, and then hopefully they'll give the corrected one for September 7th. We'll send that out too, and we can put that in the newsletter so people will see it as it comes up closer and closer. All right, so is there anything else that you
She
need
can
to
stop
put in?
presenting. She can stop sharing.
Oh, no, you can stop sharing the screen. So is there anything else that needs to be addressed? This one, yes.
Yeah, do you want to add like, as
Yes.
environmental circumstances changes like wildfires, Community Board 13 is impacted and it adds to like the existing air quality conditions? Cause like there's other stuff
There's other stuff.
happening. with
Things
air
that we don't
quality.
know and that will come up later. Yes, we should definitely put things like that because nobody ever thought wildfires were ever going to come from Canada, ever. So I think that is good to put in there as in addition to what we have here. And I don't know, you'll move this up now to modern? I don't know.
Yeah, I think this should be moved up further than 49.
I know, but this was at the end of the other meeting.
Right, I understand that.
But now, no.
Not number one.
All right, so.
Hey, we need to breathe.
in the
There's
top
all the
10,
other stuff to
you
get
gonna put in the
I would
top
put-
10?
Yeah, top 10. It's good
All
for
right.
me.
All right, now the question is, where's the top 10? That's the whole thing.
So it becomes number 40.
It's 8:30.
7.
One.
Number 7, but then we're gonna take number 7, push everything down.
We have 4 minutes.
Well,
why he's just put in the top 10.
okay,
Figure it out.
and then we'll push
Figure it
everything
out.
down. Okay, all right, so that, if there's no other topics that we should be putting in here, this is the end of this part for environmental and resiliency. Our next one that we're gonna have is the parks one on August 8th. What we're gonna do is, within the next day or two, we're gonna send out all of the listing. They finally gave me numbers. There will be 5 in August and 1 in September, to deal with the other committee issues. 2 of them are gonna be combined is economic, development with housing. And the other ones will be separate, standalone. Is there any questions from the?
I just want to say, you did a fabulous job, you and Hannah doing a hybrid meeting. I think the screen should be a little larger, but besides that, it caught everything, in my opinion. And good luck for the future meetings.
Yeah, we are gonna try to do it on bigger screen. We do have a big screen, but we weren't sure how to bring the table over there. So, but the other committee should be less committee because it's all.
Thank the public for
Yeah,
coming.
thank you guys, yeah.
Thank you.
Enjoying what we had to say. Thank you guys.
I think it
And
was.
it'll be on YouTube
You have one of these?
later.
Okay.
But we have.
Thank you. Have a good
All right, guys,
evening.
thank you. All right, meeting's adjourned.